This is a call we had Monday morning at about 8:15 in the morning. We were called for a rollover car accident on Highway 45, just south of Highway 33. And this video is from a state trooper squad car. And the original accident had the rollover basically off camera here to the side. And the driver of the vehicle was out of the vehicle and in the back of a second squad car, which was behind where the camera is situated here. What had happened is I got on scene, and we're located on 45, right where the on-ramp from Highway 33 ends, and it's right past the Chestnut Street Bridge. The Chestnut Street Bridge is probably 100 feet behind the camera here. What happened was we were all pulled off to the side of the road, and as our med unit from Station 3 arrived on scene, they came up the highway on the northbound lane because they were coming from the south side of the city, because the med unit out of here was on another call. So they came up and took Washington Street, came up the on-ramp. And this video is just before, it starts right before the med unit arrives on scene. The car in front here is the witness car that's in the release. He had witnessed the original statement, and this is where our med unit arrives on scene, and the witness car pulls forward so our med unit could get off the highway. If you notice, the traffic on the highway is actually pushed over to what they call lane 1, which is the inside lane, and the lane next to where the cars are is already closed off. That's being done behind the camera. What happens then is our crew gets on scene, and we have 3 people in the ambulance, and they get off the ambulance, and they're kind of trying to, as they get off, they're getting orientation, trying to figure out where their patient is. And these are the gentlemen that'll be talking to them. Myself personally, I'm on the left side of the camera here. I'm coming down alongside the squad car at this point to tell them that their patient is behind me and behind the camera. So as they get oriented, they're looking at the car in front, which they're a little confused about, and discussing what they're going to do. So then as I get to this point, I start walking into the screen here on the left, and I'm actually talking to the firefighter that's the attendant for the med unit. And at this point, right where I realize, or I hear the crash, and I see the crash, and that's where I turn my head. And if you notice, we have the 2 guys on the inside of the ambulance. The driver of the ambulance has gotten out of the ambulance, steps next to it, goes to the cabinet behind his spot and pulls out his helmet. He's going to get his hard hat. And what happened is the car's hit, as I noticed. The car here is actually the car that hit the car in front. There's two. The second car you can't see yet, but they're being pushed into the median, and they come through past where our firefighter was. This is the car that went into the median. This is the car that was struck from behind originally. The hitting car, or the striking car, actually then crosses in front of the ambulance, misses our firefighter in the ambulance by 1 to 2 feet, very, very narrow. Comes out and strikes the witness car, and winds up in the ditch.
Can you just play that once through?
I'll play it.
Could you, how close was that to you, John?
I was about the lane width away. I was on the inside of the lane, so it was enough to get my attention.
It looked like it brushed you.
No, it was actually a good 10 feet away, probably.
Okay.
The width of the lane.
Sure.
They were in the outside lane. I was on the inside of the inside lane.
Okay.
So, okay, I'll play that again. I'll just play it straight through.
Sure. What's the message that?
Well, the message with this is attentive driving. You have to watch at all times. This was an emergency scene. We had lights lit up in the back, at the back of the scene, all pushed over to one lane, and you have to slow down. When you see an emergency vehicle, slow down. 20 miles an hour when you're standing on the highway is really fast, so you can't go too slow.
So here you're going to come out on the left.
Yep.
How slow was traffic going?
These cars were passing by about 20 miles an hour. They were all slowed down. They were moved probably for about 500 feet already in that lane. The lane closed, and actually she came in, I think they estimated about 50 miles an hour.
Wow.
So she damaged this car severely in the back end and patient, and we transported the two patients and signed the other 2 off. So, message of the story: slow down when you see emergency lights, please.